I've always had a strange obsession for coffee. I'm not sure why, but I think it's the warm feeling of the hot liquid going down my throat and into my stomach. I think it's the fact that it warms me to the bone. Moving on, however, I sat at the table drinking my cup of coffee. God, I love my job, I thought to myself, with a grin on my face and a cup of coffee in my right hand. I glanced across the table to my friend. If you're not going to drink your coffee, then why did you ask me to make you some? He kept silent, a blank look in his eyes as he stared at me. I shrugged. Huh? More for me. I reached across the table and slid the mug of coffee in front of me. I took one more long sip of my own cup, finishing it off in one large gulp. I returned to the paper in front of me, sketching a few things while moving on to the cup that I had taken from him. I yawned deeply into my left sleeve, pausing my writing for only that. I frowned when I looked back up to my friend. David was his name from what I recall. I glanced over to the TV in the kitchen, listening to the news anchor with breaking news. This just in. Yet another body has been found. I then frowned. The body was found just late last night flowing down the little river. It had multiple lacerations and had the word fear, with the number 3 replacing the E carved into its stomach. Police are yet to let out any further information. This has been Action News, reporting to you live. I sighed as the newscast ended, looking over to David a bit tiredly. Well, how about that? It appears that they found my work, David. Now it's only a matter of time before they find you. I got up, walked over to the lifeless pale body. It had a smooth laceration, nearly surgical, along the throat area, severing the carotid artery. I peeled his shirt off of his body while sliding out a butcher knife from one of the nearby drawers. I then slid my gas mask on, brought the knife upon his stomach, and began to carve T H 3 into his stomach. His warm blood splattered along my shirt as I had severed multiple veins. My gloves had blood painted all over them. And then I stabbed the bloody butcher knife into the wooden table, letting it stick. I adjusted my mask with my gloved hand and made my way out the back door. I then sprinted into the woods behind the house while reaching for my cell phone and then dialed 911 after having thought of a marvelous plan.
911, what's your emergency?
I responded in my best acted tired voice. Yes, I'd like to report a murder.
Alright, and where's this murder taking place, sir?
Well, where'd be the fun in that? I turned around and then whipped the phone towards the house. It wasn't far, so it only hit the grass in the backyard. I then turned around and ran off through the trees. The next day I drove by the house. The cops were still there, examining the crime scene further, for who knows what reason. They'd be looking for me now. But that would just add to the fun of all this. And God, I love my job. I thought to myself as I drove towards the highway. To get out of this place. For now.